wherever you may be, however you may be listening. Live hour number 3 in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1. Joy Taylor, her first full week as a member, full-fledged official member of the Herd. Good lively week this week, highlighted by the Baker Mayfield interview. And in 10 minutes, very, very, very funny guy named Nick Kroll, in about 15 minutes actually, he's in the Uncle Drew movie starring Kyrie Irving. And that movie was getting filmed as Kyrie Irving got moved to Boston. So he's got all sorts of Kyrie Irving stuff and all sorts of Shaq stuff. He's in the movie. Chris Webber's there. You know Nick? Very, very funny guy.
Yes, I loved his show, The League.
Yes.
Do you play fantasy football?
No, but that's what The League was about.
Yes. I'm not that serious, but the way that they portray fantasy football nuts in that show is amazing.
Yeah, I'll have a funny clip from some of the stuff he does. Very funny guy. So Nick Kroll's in about 10 to 15 minutes. But LeBron's free agency is the biggest offseason story. So I'm going to start with this. So last night was the NBA draft. And here's what I noticed about an hour into it. Energy dropped significantly. After the 14th pick, Michael Porter, the last player who could be a star, it was a yawn fest. You could watch the announcers on the network that covered it. They were not the same announcers. The energy dropped significantly. Everybody keeps telling me super teams are ruining the NBA. No, they're not. Super teams are ruining last night. Between the one and done, where I don't know half the guys who are getting drafted, either do you. I mean, how many times did you watch Mo Bamba this year? Okay? Between one and done, where you're drafting kids I've never seen, or rarely seen, or seen only in March Madness for a game, Mo Bamba, and the super teams, what am I supposed to make of last night? Last night was the most uninteresting, least discussed, least projected draft ever. And it's getting worse every year. I mean, am I supposed to get jacked up because Jaren Jackson's going to the Grizzlies? Yeah, I mean, Troy Brown to the Wizards. He's going to change the world. So is Kevin Huerter to the Hawks. I got nothing against these kids, but 19-year-olds going to awful teams doesn't resonate even with the guys on the set last night that were doing that broadcast. Once you got past Michael Porter, the last guy in the first round with a chance to be a great player, he's got some back issues, but he's talented. People thought maybe a couple years ago he could be a number 1 pick. I mean, there's no energy. Everybody keeps telling me, super team. You know where there's energy? Free agency. LeBron to the Lakers. We've been talking about that for 2 months. We watch our ratings. You're interested. Kawhi, Lakers, Spurs, interested. Paul George, Thunder, Lakers, interested. That's interesting. Free agency changes the world. Kevin Durant to the Warriors, changed the league. Chris Paul to Houston, changes the league. Almost knocked the dynasty down. I mean, think about this. The NFL draft 2 years ago. Cowboys get Zeke, running back, Ezekiel Elliott, and then Dak Prescott. They become the number 1 seed in the NFC. Rams get Jared Goff. 2 years later, they're hosting playoff games. Eagles get Carson Wentz. 2 years later, they're hoisting a Super Bowl trophy. Think about the NFL draft 2 years ago. Players come into the league. We know who they are. We've watched them at Ohio State. We've watched them at Mississippi State. We've watched them at USC. We've watched them at Alabama. We've watched them at LSU. We've watched them at Texas and Oklahoma. We know who they are, and they change the league immediately. The NFC alone, Jared Goff Rams, Dak Prescott Cowboys, Carson Wentz Eagles. Let's go to the Golden State Warriors' last 2 drafts. Jordan Bell and Patty McCaw. Joey, I didn't check the finals MVP voting. I'm not sure either of them got an actual vote. You keep telling me that super teams are killing the league. No. No, I have television ratings proof they're not killing the league. They have officially killed the draft. 19-year-old prospects going to teams like Memphis, Orlando, the Knicks, and Atlanta, and Phoenix. Even the people hosting that show last night 14th pick in, seemed absolutely uninterested. All right. It is time once again. We've done it every day this week. Why not? It's the most talked about story in sports outside of the World Cup. It is time for
Laker Watch 2018.
All right, so the Lakers last night drafted Mo Wagner, a big guy from Michigan who can shoot. Not exactly the news the Laker fans were hoping for. Is there a chance that the Lakers go 0 for 3? I mean, they're swinging for the fence. We wouldn't deny that. LeBron doesn't come. Kawhi Leonard doesn't come. And Paul George doesn't come. Most of the league is hoping for that because the history in the NBA is once the Lakers get rolling, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, they win multiple titles, become the coolest brand in the league, and everybody wants to play for them. But let's talk about that. Paul George. 0 for 3 could happen. Paul George. Listen, Oklahoma City can give him another guaranteed year at $40 million. That's a real thing. Kawhi Leonard. There could be a bad general manager in the NBA. I don't know. That's about a third of the league. Who could say, we'll roll the dice. We'll give you a couple of draft picks. We'll give you a good player. We're going to rent him for a year. And we're going to try to convince him to stay. Let's talk LeBron James. Listen, we all know this, right? He moved back there from glamorous Miami to Akron. He likes it there. If the Cavs didn't have this mess of a roster, LeBron James wouldn't even consider anybody else. So could the Lakers go 0 for 3? Absolutely. I do not think they'll go 0 for 3, but I'm not sure they're going to go 3-0. So I believe the one thing at minimum that will happen, Paul George will go to the Lakers. So let's look at what the Lakers would be if they only get Paul George this year. Lonzo Ball at point probably goes from 11 to 15 points a game. 3 very good forwards. Paul George, all-star. Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, both average 16 a game. I think it's reasonable to assume that goes to 19, 20, or 21. Brook Lopez, big guy. And that's a 35-win team last year. That looks like a 42, 43-win team this year. Paul George added, Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram, and they have the right coach. Everybody getting better. 42, 43 wins. Probably battle for a number 8 spot in the West. Probably do. And the Lakers then would still have the following year room for one more max player. And do you want to know who's available? Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, LeBron, Jimmy Butler, Kawhi Leonard, and DeAndre Jordan. So even if they land just one, and I think that's very likely, I don't think the Spurs want to do the Lakers any favors. And I think they're going to keep them to the trading deadline, which is a mistake. And I'm not sure LeBron's going to leave. I would. And that is your 2018 Friday edition of this.
Laker Watch 2018.
All right. There you have it. Okay. We got a lot of show left. Coming up next, Nick Kroll, 10 minutes. He's in that Uncle Drew movie. Kyrie Irving's the star, and he's got a lot of stories to tell. Very funny, talented guy, sports fan. He's done a sports show about fantasy football, but he was there when Kyrie Irving moved to Boston. Shaq was there. Kyrie was there. Chris Webber was there. Reggie Miller was there. And he's a big sports fan, too. That's coming up next. Using TrueCar, you can easily find the new car you want. You know there's over 15,000 TrueCar certified dealers nationwide, and TrueCar users save an average of $3,000. But when you use TrueCar, check out True Price from TrueCar. That helps you avoid the confusion you encounter online by getting a great price you can count on before you ever visit a dealership. The TrueCar includes all dealer fees and accessories, shows what other people in your area paid for the car you want, and now you know what a fair price is, so you feel confident when you go to the dealer. Certified TrueCar dealers, 15,000 in America. So when you're ready to buy new or used, doesn't matter, new or used, go to TrueCar.com, enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Now, some features not available in all states. TrueCar, and then use the True Price in TrueCar. Fees, accessories, tell you every penny. before you buy the car.
What is a trophy, gentlemen?
It's why we're here.
Good. It's time to race.
I am the DQ